Tornadoes and thunderstorms can be deadly or interrupt your sleep, but summer heat, actually, the heat waves have been the biggest weather-related killers here in Wisconsin.
And joining us now to help us prepare is Tod Pritchard. He's with Ready Wisconsin and Wisconsin Emergency Management. Nice to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, this surprised me. We've talked about this once before, that heat is actually the #1 biggest killer in Wisconsin, also though the most preventable in terms of deaths.
It's so preventable because there's really, every one of these deaths is tragic and a bit different, but there's kind of a trend that we've been really spotting. A lot of these folks, a lot of these victims are seniors, they're over 65. A lot of them are socially isolated, they don't have a real great support system, and a vast majority don't have air conditioning, and it's amazing what a miracle cure air conditioning is for heat. And when you don't have air, it makes a huge difference. So if you know, when we're getting in the middle of a heat wave, thank goodness we have a break today, so it's feeling good, but when we get in the middle of a heat wave, and especially when we get into like day 3, day 4, day 5, that's when we start seeing a lot of fatalities. So, think about, do I have friends, family, that I need to check on and see how they're doing during those kind of neighbors, absolutely. Because think about that profile. Seniors, they don't really have a lot of contact with folks. They don't have air conditioning. I really need to check on those guys.
Check on them and then make suggestions about how they can escape the heat. That's the thing that I worry about.
We on our website, on the Ready Wisconsin website, whenever we get into these heat events, we always post a list of cooling centers, places that people can go, and a lot of them are common sense, just like the mall or libraries or that kind of thing. But sometimes there are other buildings that open up where you're invited to come on in, just hang out, sit down.
Kind of a shelter, a cool shelter.
And especially during the heat of the day, right in that, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, just to give your body a break. And that's what happens when you get those 3, 4, 5 day events, especially when you're kind of on the tipping point health-wise. Even the coolness of the night doesn't give your body enough time to recover. And
it hasn't been that cool around here.
At night, no.
No, and unfortunately we had 5 heat-related deaths in Milwaukee over that last heat wave that we just had a few days ago. So it really does takes your life so quickly.
And it is happening. Last night we had a little bit of lightning. The night before, some pretty severe thunderstorms, some lightning that seriously I shot out of my seat in the living room. I mean, it was that loud. It was a real clap of thunder. You have some trivia or some true false for us today, right?
A lot of people don't really know about how thunder and lightning works. So yeah, I have some true false questions for you. Let's try this.
Okay, you ready, Amy?
Okay, yeah. All right.
You sound real confident. Okay.
This isn't that hard.
If someone is struck by lightning, don't touch them or give them first aid. They carry an electric charge. Is that true or false? False, false. You are correct. That is false.
Okay.
Now a lot of people think, oh no, they just got zapped, but that's the time they need your help the most. And so, are they breathing? Do they have a pulse? If you know CPR, administer it right away. Obviously, call 911.
So CPR would be the first thing. Right,
because a lot of times what lightning does is it stops your heart. Right, your heart stops beating. That's the biggest thing that happens when you get struck by lightning. So if you can restart their heart, that's great. And think about yourself in this. Obviously, there's a lightning storm going on. Try to get that person to a safe place to administer aid and get you to a safe place. We don't want more victims, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, how about this one? Rubber tires on a car protect you from lightning by insulating you from the ground. True? True. It's false.
It is,
I meant
you know what? I was really torn on that one because actually I have a friend who was traveling and their car was struck by lightning.
Right. Now, it's kind of the tires don't do it. What does protect you is that steel frame that's surrounding you, right?
Okay.
So if you're in a lightning storm and you have nowhere else to go, there's no building or no shelter, getting into a car is actually a pretty good idea. But it's not the tires that's going to protect you. When that lightning hits the car, it goes through the steel and it goes into the ground, right? Yeah. It's still conducting that electricity. So don't touch any metals, try to stay inside, don't touch any, although most of our cars are plastic now.
But. Are you safer in rubber shoes?
Oh, well, that's it. Are you safer in rubber shoes?
I would say you're going to say no.
It's it's
false.
A big old false, right? The
Okay.
rubber soles of the shoes don't make any difference. But that's a great question because a lot of people think, oh, I'll be protected.
Yeah. All right. One more question.
One more question. If I'm trapped outside and lightning is about to strike, I should lie flat on the ground. True? False? That is also false. Here's why. You meant false, didn't you? You were thinking that.
Meant false.
I thought if you were standing taller, you'd have a greater chance of being struck.
Well, you know, the first thing you want to do is just get into some sort of shelter.
Oh, that was totally a setup, Todd.
But if you are caught outside, laying flat on the ground is the worst thing you can do because you're making yourself
bigger.
Yeah, it's more of a surface area, right? Exactly.
Okay.
So now, if you feel like you're going to be struck by lightning, you know, that is scary. You are in a really bad situation. But what you want to do is curl up into a ball as small as you can and stay on the balls of your feet to try to get the least amount of connectivity between you and the ground.
Okay.
So
what about laying in a low-lying ditch?
You know, that's really something we talk about for tornadoes. For lightning, it's not going to help you at all.
It doesn't help.
And really for tornadoes, that's not much of a help either. It's really, in both cases, you need to try to get into some sort of shelter. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Always learn something when you're here, Todd. It's great information.
Todd.
Ready Wisconsin is 608-242-3324. Go to readywisconsin.wi.gov. Great resources on your site.
Yes, we have lots of tips on
safe.
all sorts of different events and ideas. Yep.
Good
Thanks,
stuff.
Todd.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good being with you.